Challenge number 5. Challenge complexity. I'm amazed how many people here would love a simple mobile phone. A simple mobile phone. One that you can just make a call on. Wouldn't that be great? You know, in the year 2010, they say that in the UK, there is 65% of the UK population will be over 65 years old. And we wonder why old people can't use mobile phones very well, because they're too complicated. The buttons are too small. We did a lot of work with Nokia this many years ago, and I said to some of the Nokia senior management, what you need is a simple phone for people that just want to make a call and maybe send a text. They laughed at me. Sony brought one out the year later. Who's laughing now? You see, complexity is often seen as good. How many of you have attended a requirements review? And you've looked at the requirements and you look at it and you think, I haven't a clue what this means. Yeah, there's many hands go up. And you sit there thinking, but I'm not going to say anything because it'll make me look silly. I will guarantee that there are other people in the room thinking the same thing. Story about little Susie. Psychologists in the UK did a little experiment about peer pressure. They got 4- and 5-year-olds together, and the psychologist said, we want to see how peer pressure influences the children's voting scheme. So they got 30 to 35 children in a room, and they did it a number of times, and they said, what we're going to do is give you a test. We're going to say 2 + 2 =. Now, all of them knew the answer. 4 was the answer, but they took 29 out of the 30 children out of the class and said, we want to play a game. We want you to say it's 5. Now, children of 3 and 4 and 5, they love playing games because the psychologist said, don't tell Susie. They all came back in the class. Little Susie was sitting at the back, and so the psychologist said to them, 2 + 2, what is it? Little Johnny at the front, sir, I know. Johnny, what is it? 5. 5? Really? How many agree with Johnny? 29 hands go up. Little Susie at the back going. Every single time the hand went up, peer pressure. We laugh at that. We might think it's cruel. We do it all the time at requirements reviews. When we don't raise our hands as testers to say, actually, I don't understand this requirement. And I bet you the person that has written the requirement doesn't understand it themselves either. I'm sorry about this. When NASA first started sending astronauts into space, they realized that they needed a ballpoint pen that would not work at zero gravity. $1 million of investment and 2 years of tests resulted in a pen that could write in space, upside down, almost on any surface, and at temperatures ranging from below freezing to over 300 degrees C. When the Russians were confronted with the same problem, they used a pencil. These are my 2 watches. This is the watch that I've got on now, and this is the watch I used to have. My wife bought me this watch for my 40th birthday, and I'm still wearing it. My watch I've got on now has 5 buttons. The watch I used to have had 2 buttons. The watch I used to have, I could change the alarm quite easily. You just pulled the button out and the alarm was set. Let me read what I have to do on my new watch. To activate, press and hold pusher B till the hour digits display. Push and hold D until the minutes display. Press and hold pusher C to activate the minutes. Press and hold pusher D to advance. Press pusher B to set. Once set, press pusher C twice. At the start, activate by pushing button D. To deselect, push B. I still carry this around with me. I have no idea how to set the alarm. And we think complexity is great. So my challenge to you, at every opportunity, just say to people that are raising requirements that look very complex, do we need that complexity? The Standish Group came up with a survey about features that we have in our products. Look at this very carefully. Features and functions used. 13% are often used, 45% are never used, 19% are rarely used, 7% of features are always used, and 16% are sometimes used. Let's change this around a little bit, because that now says 64% are rarely or never used in our products. We are pumping up complexity at a rate of knots. They need to be developed and designed, but they also need to be tested. How many functions do we actually use in Excel? Really? And yet Microsoft, in an old version of Excel, could actually put a flight simulator in if you tapped in a certain keys. That's incredible. So challenge complexity.